I would like to welcome Mike from Break The Stigma to talk to you a little bit about what that's about and why it's important and why we're supporting it. And then you're going to hear something interesting. Come on, Mike.
Hello? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mike. We had our first event last year, so Break The Stigma is an addiction awareness event. Last year we had it was the last Sunday in July. We had about, I think, close to 500 people showed up. And the whole idea behind Break The Stigma is to not only be an addiction awareness event, but I am in recovery myself. I have been in recovery for many years now, but I'm uncomfortable telling people that I'm in recovery. And the whole idea of Break The Stigma is to basically help break that the stigma that is attached to addiction and people that are in recovery. Because the only shame is not getting help. It's not, feeling like you can reach out and get the help that you need. Because there's a lot of people. I've had friends commit suicide. I've had friends overdose on drugs, and there's a lot of people that feel like they can't get help. So the whole idea behind it is to provide support and resources to people, and to bring awareness to it. And at the end of the event, we offer an opportunity for people to come on stage and identify, basically come out as people in recovery. And it's powerful. We've had people that weren't going to do it and did it, and they're coming back this year. So thank you guys for having this. All the proceeds from this are going to help us continue on our mission and help connect people to resources. We're working with the Warwick Valley Coalition, and they go into schools, and there's a lot of things that they do, so we're kind of like a subcommittee of them. And you guys are all welcome to come. You don't have to be in recovery to be there. Everybody knows someone, or knows somebody who knows someone who's been affected by addiction. So that's what we're doing, and we're hoping that by doing this, somebody like myself or somebody that you might know can maybe get the help that they need, and maybe not feel like ashamed that they're in recovery. So once again, thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for letting us be a part of this. And I'm going to give it over to Sam. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Mike, for explaining everything. There's some flyers we brought with us just in case. It's July 28th. We're doing it this year from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Stanley Deming Park in Warwick. And last year, I was a part of the group that brought this together. Shout out to Ryan Caldwell. He's the mastermind behind all this. And he couldn't show up today, so he had us come speak on his behalf. But I was asked to do a poem about addiction, specifically in my town. And this is what I came up with. Addiction is when someone becomes complacent with destruction. Addiction is a self-inflicted enslavement to a substance. Addiction is a sickness that's been mentally depressing me. Addiction is eventually a chemical dependency. Addiction just befriended me, tempted me and tested me, pressured me deceptively, allegedly to rescue me. Addiction is the conviction that we can live stupendously, falsely promoted to us as a blissful serenity. Addiction is the penalty. Addiction is the enemy. Addiction is the thing that turns a friend into a memory. Addiction is the decision to retreat from one's own destiny. Addiction is a condition that's been predisposed genetically. Addiction puts restriction on your mission and your cause. Addiction is when all a children's innocence is lost, ridden with exhaust to the point you can't relate with them or debate with them as a slave to escapism. Stubborn minds telling lies like it's justified, in denial with their lives, steady stuck in pride. Inside a confined box from the onset, the pain's non-stop, the temptation is constant. Mix the uppers with the downers, the antis with the depressants, the puffers with the powders and the pills with the injections. A daily dose is just a cope every hour, but it ain't safe to take it just because it's over the counter. As alcohol is poisoning the minds of us all, so the port rips them stop, they could die from withdrawals. Some are looking for a smile, some are looking for care, some are living in denial, some are fully aware. Cause I'm friends of many addicts who inject themselves with harmony, but then again, what the heck you expect? I'm from the pharmacy. I only say it because it's as disgraceful as it sounds. That's the nickname we've been given by our neighboring towns. Yeah, the pharmacy. So don't be fooled by the views of this beautiful destination, because behind the picket fence was the truth of our reputation. They say that it's under control, but I doubt it. They call it heroin, but there's nothing heroic about it. Another epidemic spread that we choose to oppress. Another teenage death we refuse to address. Another daughter taken through the clouds up in the skies and died from the same drug she vowed to never try. So now we're forced to think it happened for a reason. How are we supposed to know that'd be the last time we would see him? So who's to blame when the user becomes a liar? And who's to blame, the consumer or the supplier? Either way, it's too consistent to conceal it, and these shouldn't be the issues that our children have to deal with. But since we don't want the concern to ever turn public, we never see the cause of grief or ever learn from it. Regrettable, because I feel like it's preventable. At least there's gotta be a way to make it less accessible. But we'll never get protection from above for prevention of a drug when it's swept under the rug. It starts with the peer pressure that's affiliated, mixed with self-hate from being publicly humiliated, isolated, thinking God was never watching, cried till suicide became a better option. Just trying to find a different place to stay, running away from pain, scared to face the day. So it seems that it's a disorder of the genes, like for every addict clean, 20 more become a fiend, as we stare up at the screens of our cameras and phones, while teens overdose, destroying our families and homes. We're all in it, yet we still been scared to talk about it. While these rehabilitation centers getting awfully crowded, it starts by asking what we question the least. How did these poppy seeds from overseas get in our streets? We feel depleted because we don't have the answers. The hope is we can change it through some vocal awareness, knowing very well that it can never be enough, but about to never give up for Evan McNutt. No way to cope from this defeated sense of hopelessness. I send you my condolences because I can feel your loneliness. But staying silent is a horrible option, because we're either trying to solve it or we're part of the problem. So let us draw from this dark pit of emotion, maximize the meaning for the ones we miss every moment, until the day justice for every victim is spoken. May we fight and come together till the stigma is broken.